Welcome to A Piece of CX. This week we're going to take a look at some of the differences to CXone dashboards when you have performance management involved on your BU. So there's been a bit of chatter in the Nice world since the 25.4 release when if we go and look at dashboards in an environment that does not have PM, my dashboard is very much today only. And then I have dashboard reports for historical data and never shall the two meet. And the feedback from people has not been immense on this. It feels a little bit like a stick, in all honesty. But we have our various different reports in here. So let's have a look at one of these. And it looks very similar to the dashboard we just saw, but I have the ability to change my metrics interval. And some of these go away by default as well. So let's go back to that dashboard we were just looking at, and let's compare it to an environment that has performance management turned on. So here I have a dashboard. It's not a pretty dashboard, but we're going to look at some other things as we go here as well. But you'll see my KPI can be today and can be last 30 days, last 90 days, whatever I want it to be. One of the big things customers are asking for at the moment is, can I have month to date? Which feels like a quick win, is not there at the moment. But month to date would be really appreciated. I think we've got a feature request out for that for a couple of customers at the moment. But let's have a look at the differences here. So one, we have that time paradigm being available. We also have quite a few different extra widgets. So we have gamification. So if I click add widget, then we have call arrival and dispositions. Dispositions is very handy. There's also one about hold calls. Hasn't appeared through here. I know it's ticked in the permissions. Haven't seen how that works just yet. But that dispositions one is down the bottom here and is very handy. And let's maybe chuck that to last 7 days and see how that's set. Now, this is on a demo platform, so the data is not great with a lot of automated calls. The call arrival one, I've not figured out how you get this working just yet. You can go up to 72 hours in the past, but that's going to be an interesting one. It looks like it's going to be some form of graph when it appears, looking like that. But those are two extra ones you get there. Quality management, don't think there are any extra ones here from what I recall. Analytics, the classic frustration. The frustration here is that's the only one still from analytics. It feels like we could move a few more across from analytics. In coaching, we have KPI trends and coaching events, which is this one here. So this is if you've created some KPIs and you've created some coaching and you want them to track alongside each other. So we're looking at first response time here. It's probably not the right metric in all honesty. And it looks like we are limited to 3 agents at one time. Maybe we need to select some different agents there. We'll go to our auto agents. Let's clear all of those. And let's change which agents they are. We'll go with those 3. Let's change the metric. We've got 1 metric available. Let's do handle time. Confirm that. And that will hopefully give us what's gone on. Apart from we aren't doing any coaching events with these agents. So in theory, you won't see a trend. We'll just let that build for a moment. Elsewhere, if we click on add widget, we have metrics, we have the gauge. Now, when I first clicked on this, I just had a gauge that was doing nothing. You actually have to go and do a bit more config on that. So we'll have a look at that in a moment. If I click gauge, it just looks like so. I select a metric. Let's go with average handle time. Now this one, it looks like there's already something set for this already, but we'll come back and set those ranges in a moment. This is attempted to plot in the last 7 days. I'm going to go last 30 days instead. You also have leaderboard. I think I've got one of these down here. Yep. So leaderboard by unavailable time. So we can apply some filters. We can see my ranking. We can go into that. And again, you're selecting a metric and it's a single metric. Performance management. These come in here with challenges. So I can wager myself. I've got games that I'm part of. And I've got a games tracker, which I think I have somewhere in here. here, we can see who's got the total games, how many points they have earned as well. You can filter all those, but significantly, and when we talk about carrots and sticks, this is a carrot. WFM widgets. WFM widgets got retired with the previous iteration of dashboards. We were told they weren't necessarily really relevant, but they also weren't replaced. They're now replaced, but only if you have performance management. And these are clearly drawing on some test data here because everyone is John Doe, but we can see agent adherence and this one, and I said this wasn't a pretty dashboard at all. We can be tracking breaks, for example, over the last 30 days, and it looks like this is using dummy data as well. So more widgets available to you if you have performance management. The ability to look across real time, today, and historic is really quite powerful as well. If we save that, just let that save. You'll also see more things up here. So firstly, this was promised in 25.3 for normal dashboards. Dashboard wide filters. So instead of you having to go into every single widget, you can bring it all down here and say team, and we'll do the auto agents, and we'll click away and apply that. And it is applied across every single part of the dash. Just makes life easier. So I'm not sure why that didn't appear in main dashboards, but it would be great to have that as well. I'm going to go and turn that off for now. We have the ability to subscribe. So I subscribe to this every week as an email. And very similar to the export function, what this does is this gives you your dashboard in an Excel format. I'm not sure how useful that is, taking something that's very visual and putting it into a load of tables. Interestingly, this is clearly allowing more than 3 agents as well. It's allowing 11. We'll just run with that. You have some other things up here. These are all similar. And you've got the ability, once you've saved this, keep making too many changes to this. So we'll save it again. You can then duplicate it to my reports. So you could then turn this into a historical report as well if you want to. That's generally what I'm doing with customers now is I'm creating something. If I don't have performance management, this is. So if I don't have performance management and I want to see both a today view and historic view, I'm having to create the dashboard and then duplicate it to my reports so that it's a dashboard report as well. So there's a bit of extra effort involved there if you want to look across different time paradigms. Now, these gauge widgets. What you seem to do there is if we go across, now actually that's a good point before we move across, you'll notice I'm viewing this through dashboard. So all of these features, once you have PM, you don't have to be in PM to view them. They pull through into dashboard, which is good. If we are in performance management itself and we open out this side of things, we can go into metrics. These are where you create your own metrics, so you can have your own paradigms that you want to create. So one was created here called A1 by someone. Not sure what it is. It's just a sum of things, but you can bring your own metrics into dashboards and reporting. But if we click on objectives, the one I created previously on my dash was for unavailable time. So that's this one here. If I go and click edit, then we can see what this looks like. And we can have a look at our performance ratings and our notifications. So it looks like this is also going to send me some emails depending on what's gone wrong. If I go back to my objectives here, we had an average handle time there and it looked like it was in red. So let's see how this has been set up. And it is in red because anything under 19 seconds is green and everything over 1 minute is not so good. I'm going to change that to 5. Let's do that now. And let's do anything under a minute. And it's going to carry on building this out for me. Let's say we want everything in there under 3 minutes. Then let's do 3 minutes, not 3 hours, to 7 minutes. Then let's do 15 minutes and then do up. Now, I'm not going to put in the performance notification because I don't want to get too many emails on this. But if I click save, then that is going to go and update in this dashboard in due course. I'm not expecting it to go instantly, but we'll see what that looks like. Now, with the 26.1 updates, there's also the ability to have an agent view, a supervisor view, and an operational view, which interestingly is something that customers ask for quite regularly as well. This hasn't quite pulled through just yet, although that might be because 22 minutes was quite high, wasn't it? Yeah, we're still in the red there. So I would need to change that significantly. Maybe if I change it to last 30 days, and let's have a look as well. If I change that to just my auto agents, that's actually quite a good looking widget to bring into things if you've got the setup of it right. So there you have it. Those are some key differences. Once you do bring performance management into your CXone environment, it does uplift your dashboards. It does give you a lot more to play with. Plus, there's a whole gamut of other stuff on performance management, which we have not even talked about around gamification, desktop discovery, data feeds, wallboards, all that kind of stuff. If you were wondering why move after the 25.4 and that changed the historical and real-time paradigm in dashboards, hopefully that gives you some potential motivation and reasons to look at that in the future. Thank you very much for joining A Piece of CX.